Hey Taurus, how's it going? Hope you're doing well today. Let's take a look into your early February reading, see what comes out. This is your overall energy, Taurus. This is coming out nice and swiftly. We're going to do a general spread, and then we will look into the energy of the person that you're connecting with, as well as yours, and the mutual energy between you two. So, we've got 4 Pentacles coming out. This is for your Sun, Moon, Venus, and rising placements, Taurus. This is King of Wands. Your overall energy, it's the Magician. You've got the Ace of Wands. 4 Pentacles, King of Wands, Ace of Wands. 10 of Cups at the bottom of the deck. Oh, and the Wheel of Fortune. And the Hierophant behind it. And we've got the 10 of Wands behind the Hierophant. But this is very heavy energy. Like, this is really like heavy duty, solid energy. This is 10 of Cups, 10 of Cups, 10 of Wands, Hierophant, and the Wheel of Fortune in between those two. And the Hierophant is your card, Taurus. This is all about, the Hierophant represents our values, the belief systems that we have had instilled within us from the beginning of our lives. These are societal norms that help shape communities and religious sectors, spiritual communities as well. Values, morals, just the things that help us navigate through our lives, because we believe that these things are what help us maintain order. Maintaining order in our lives is not easy unless you have a set a value system in place. Doesn't sound right, value system. When you have a belief system or some sort of order, when I say order, I mean a structured belief system. We're going to leave it at that. It doesn't have to be religious. It can be. The Hierophant is more so religious, and the High Priestess is more so spiritual in nature. But yes, the Hierophant also, the Hierophant establishes order from the orders that they receive from above. And these, I don't know where I'm going with this, but I feel like it's important, because with the Hierophant, I feel like you are not necessarily reevaluating your beliefs, or maybe you are. Maybe you're considering to become more spiritual and leave behind some sort of religious affiliation that you might have. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. Uranus has gone direct in your sign, Taurus. So this is great. It is an energy, Uranus is an energy of unexpected shifts in one's life. Uranus is also Uranus is rebellious. Uranus wants to um, break free from constraints or um, constricting slash limiting constructs. It wants to be free. It wants to it wants to embrace and exude its individualism. And maybe you're going through a sort of individuation at this point in time, Taurus. There may be a very radical shift in how you operate. I feel this is very possible. Uranus will be moving into Gemini too. I'm not sure when, but sometime in the near future. And that I feel is going to bring unfamiliar but comforting confirmations of things that you may be were wondering about or questioning. You're going to be gaining a lot of information in regards to a new way that you are going about life. And it's going to make you feel good. I feel like with Uranus and Gemini, for you, Taurus, you are more comfortable in the tried and true, familiar traditional system that you had always gone by. But I feel as though you have been, as of recently, I feel as though, especially with this last January passing, I feel like you have agreed to become more open to change and not so much resistant. Magician is your overall energy. This is mercurial energy. This deals with a lot of fluid intellectual energy. This is you learning a lot about something and being really excited. I feel like maybe doing research on, I want to say, metaphysical concepts, quantum physics, and how it correlates with spirituality. You may be diving deeper into the occult sciences. You may be really looking into heavy symbolism and trying to decipher things whenever these synchronistic, I guess, moments happen. And I feel like it's a very refreshing time for you, Taurus. I think this is like it's a new age. I mean, we are in Aquarius season. So with Uranus direct in your sign and us being in in Aquarius. On the second, I'm gonna butcher this somehow, but Venus had created a trine, I believe, with Mercury and at least Mercury and Neptune and the moon. And today also Venus does conjunct with Chiron. No, not conjunct, but I believe sextile. I don't want to give you wrong information, Taurus. What am I? What am I trying to tell you, Taurus? Let's see. Venus sextiles Chiron. So that being said, there is that opportunity that is being provided for healing through communication, through deep understanding, through authentic and genuine dialogue between you and whoever it is that you may be in need of healing with, if you are wanting to heal a connection or other dynamics in your life. But you are definitely in this magician energy at this point in time, Taurus. Aside from learning and just soaking in a lot of information about what your life is going to unfold even deeper within, and then within the next few months, I want to say. Aside from that, I feel like you're bringing all this into your reality, and it's because you are developing these ideas and understandings of whatever concepts you are not indulging, but diving into as of now. And I'm not going to read a whole bunch, but in this, I really like this book. It was well published by Thomas Weems, Unlocking Kabbalah, actually. But I was reading about the Empress, the spheres. Actually, this is pertaining to the spheres on the Tree of Life. So if you can see, as you can see, we have the green sphere here at the bottom, and this sphere right here, this you can actually you can attach the idea of this sphere to being a part of the human construct. It doesn't sound good, but there's a psychology behind this, and I read about it in this book as well. But So the green sphere here, which represents the Empress, the path from the green sphere to the orange sphere is the path of the Empress. And you are ruled by Venus and are also represented by salt. Sorry, I was drawing a blank there, but also in the alchemical stance. And on the other side here, we've got Mercury. Mercury is represented by Mercury itself. Well, no, it's represented by sulfur. Is it? Because in this sense, because actually, in all actuality, it is, I believe it's this red sphere here that is representing Mars, which is also symbolic for the Emperor. The Emperor represents sulfur, the reactive element in the alchemical process that takes place whenever you're like, where are you going with this? Just stop, right? I know. But I have a point here. So the alchemical process between Mercury and Venus when it comes to manifesting. There was a very interesting point that this author brings to the reader's attention. It brought out the fact that people have been overlooking a part of what is very significant when they are trying to manifest through the law of attraction. And so here, and it's just one paragraph, and of course it kind of was connected to the one prior, but it goes a little bit like this: that the fire of creative inspiration is intimately connected to the fire of sexual passion is hardly a secret. Venus is an energy of fertility in both the mind and in nature. In the harnessing of sexual energy is an especially powerful means of bringing the creative fire to bear upon the labile imagination. This formula is particularly relevant to the theory of magic. It is often said that visualization is the key to the law of attraction. What is not as well understood is that this visualization must be animated by the fire of Venus to have a magical effect. It is the living imagination that has real power, and it is from this magical liquid fire that visions and prophecies are born. So I feel like we're already 1919 in. Taurus, I feel like at this point in time, and I say we, maybe it's been a collective thing, because I was kind of stuck in this in this block, I guess you could call it. But I was lacking this passion, this fire that is needed whenever you are trying to be creative, when you are trying to crystallize a vision that you have. And I normally don't have this, but I kind of know what what um, the reason for all of this was. Um, because whenever I'm in nature, whenever I'm hiking, um, and I've got music going in my headphones, um, I I don't know, I see things very differently. And no, I'm not on drugs, I'm not hallucinating. It's just what is colored in my imagination as I am listening to the different tones and beats, and as I'm looking around at, you know, the trees and the rocks and just the scenic view that surrounds me whenever I'm on my hikes. And it's all those components that kind of generate this. It's almost like a cinematic movie that kind of starts going on in my head. It's kind of crazy, but I love it. It's extremely grounding, as outlandish as it sounds. It's very grounding, and it makes me feel amazing. But the reason why, and whenever I've got music, it's not hard to attach a specific energy behind my intentions, behind my um, animated visualizations. I've realized that some people uh, believe that, you know, their visions that they have that are part of like goals that they want to attain, um, they're not animated. They're just you know, a picturesque type of uh, I don't know, painting of whatever they are wanting for themselves, or whatever it is that they're trying to manifest. And I was like, I don't know, shocked, because I don't know, at times I see things very differently, much more lucid, much more vividlier than other times. But there, not too long ago, I had um, found myself kind of stuck, not really having a direction that I wanted to take my um, creative endeavors into. And I still don't have a solid, um, not a solid direction. I know where it's going. It's just that I never try to attach a set, um, I guess, expectation of what it will be like, if you will, uh, towards the end. And I feel like, Taurus, you're probably like, I'm done hearing about your life. Please proceed with mine, with my reading. The way this relates to you is that I feel like in the recent months, possibly, you may have lacked that fire, that creative fire that is needed to imbue your vision of your, of your manifestation. You were lacking that creative spark, that convalescent juice that you need to go along with your vision. And I feel as though that has changed very recently, and it's brought enthusiasm, it's brought optimism in your life, in whatever it is that you're doing. So, Wheel of Fortune here, this is a turn of events. These are, so I was just reading, got the Tower at the bottom of the deck here. Oh, goodness, I'm gonna get my other book out. I've been trying to squeeze in readings and stuff, but where was it? The Wheel of Fortune represents here. The 10th numbered major trump is called La Roue de Fortune, the Wheel of Fortune, and portrays a mysterious wheel with 8 spokes, the familiar Buddhist symbol of the cycle of necessity. To its rim cling Anubis and Typhon. Typhon? The principles of good and evil. Above sits the immobile Sphinx carrying the sword of justice and signifying the perfect equilibrium of universal wisdom. Anubis is shown rising and Typhon descending, but when Typhon reaches the bottom, evil ascends again. And when Anubis reaches the top, good wanes once more. The Wheel of Fortune represents the lower universe as a whole with divine wisdom, the Sphinx, as the eternal arbiter between good and evil. In India, the chakra, or wheel, is associated with the life centers either of a world or of an individual. In the pseudo-Egyptian tarot, the Sphinx is armed with a javelin, the Typhon, and Typhon is being thrown from the wheel. The vertical columns supporting the wheel and so placed that but one is visible. The vertical columns supporting the wheel and so placed that but one is visible represent the axis of the world with the inscrutable Sphinx upon its northern pole. Sometimes the wheel with its supports is in a boat upon the water. The water is the ocean of illusion, which is the sole foundation of the cycle of necessity. I love this book. And, excuse me. So, excuse me, oh my God, I'm burping my coffee. The imagery that they're talking about with Typhon and Anubis is in the Thoth deck. Of course, it's not going to be in this half, but since I read about it, I have to show you. But anyways, I'm just jumping down into whatever rabbit hole opens up. I'm so sorry, but this is kind of how I learn, and I love it. I love learning about, the history and the symbolism behind a lot of, especially in the Thoth deck. It's saturated with all of this. So if you could see, and you can also look it up on Google, but this is the Wheel of Fortune. card with Anubis at the top. It's not, where is it? It's the Sphinx. And I see Typhon. But, anyways, this is the card. And yeah, it's all about, the connection, not the connection, but it's all about what connects one to their, I don't want to say fate, but to where they were meant to be. It is the cause and effect, the pushing and the pulling of it's that cosmic dance, that gravitational relationship that one has with whatever it is that's on the other end of them. You know, you are one way somehow supposed to experience your karmic, you know, your karmic blessings, karmic debts, and you know, you cannot escape any of this. You can prolong the process as to you know, confronting whatever it is, but ultimately everything meets up with us somehow, some way in the universe. Oh my gosh, Taurus, I'm so sorry. Where was I going with that? All I'm saying is, I don't know why I thought, let me see one thing. All I'm saying, Taurus, is that you are going to be reaping all of what you have sowed in a good way, in a good sense, with everything that you have been trying to understand about your path going forward. And it's going to serve you well. It's going to bring blessings into your life, blessings in forms that I feel you probably are not expecting. You know, this is unexpected windfalls of some sort. That's Jupiterian energy for you. Yeah. Let me clarify one thing. Okay, let's see. So, yeah. Okay. Okay, so I wasn't crazy. So in the Wheel of Fortune card in the Thoth deck, there is a hybrid at the top of the deck. It features Hermanubis, a hybrid of Horus and Anubis, representing the intellectual and spiritual evolution rising on the wheel, while Typhon the snake falls and the Sphinx sits atop. It symbolizes the constant, often volatile cycles of karma, change, and destiny, emphasizing that growth requires the interplay of destruction, balance, and evolution. Yes. It reminds me of, of the cosmic dance of Shiva. Shiva the Destroyer. And Shakti. Shakti in Hindu religion is symbolic for creative energy, sexual energy. And yeah. So, Taurus, let's go into your love portion. It's 35 minutes in, 36. I'm going to stop this, Taurus, and I will see you in the next video with your love portion.